What is going on? Paddle and Fin Nation, Matt Gibson here with another episode of Fishing for Noobs. I've got my kayak coffee here. Kayak coffee, if you go there, kayakcoffee.com, kayak fishing brew 20 will get you 20% off. And then the fine folks at Dubro Fishing, if you use Matt G10, you'll get an additional 10% off of what you order there as well. We're right around the holidays here. We're getting into here in the Midwest. We're getting out of fishing season a little bit. Still plenty of fishing going on. But one of the things that we really do here in the Midwest is fishing shows. And I have a gentleman named Ray Rigby that I am going to talk to today about shows and all of that stuff. Ray has been doing it for a number of years. And he really hosts some really, really great shows here in the Midwest. So without further ado, we'll bring Mr. Ray Rigby on. Hey, Ray, how's it going?
How you doing, Matt?
Good. I'm sure you're kind of pulling your hair out right now, getting everything going for these shows, right?
Man, I feel like silly putty. I'm getting stretched so many different ways.
Yeah.
Part of it, though. I enjoy every minute of
it. Yes. How many shows are you up to this year?
Three.
Okay, you're doing what? The Lawrenceburg show, the West Indies show, and then
Corydon, Indiana, right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky.
Gotcha. Now those are all great areas, and man, that Lawrenceburg show last year, I know that was your first year coming back to that area.
Yep.
But man, that was a really, really good show, and the Indy West show is always a great show as well.
That show has a little unfair advantage over some there. It's been around for 27 years.
Yeah.
So it kind of has a cult following almost.
Yeah.
Our advertising budget there is a third of what it is anywhere else because everybody knows the first weekend of February, that show rolls around. They know it's 60,000 square foot of nothing but fishing.
Yep. Yeah, that's what's great about your shows too. I guess let's start at the beginning. How did you get into running these shows and kind of doing all of this?
$100 bet.
Really?
27 years ago, it was a $100 bet.
Wow.
We went out to the Indy show, and it had started to decline then, but it wasn't like it is now.
Right.
But it had started its decline. And the dude I was with, I told him, I said, "Shit, I can do a better job than this." And he said, "I'll bet you $100 you can't." I was like, all right, it's on. So being a former high school athlete, I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
I took that as you can't. And I took it as, oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So, and being I used to fish competitively, I knew everybody in the fishing industry.
Yeah.
So getting a building full of good vendors, that was the easy part. The hardest part for me was learn how to market. Because it was all trial and error and losing a whole bunch of money. Hindsight being 2020, I should have shook his hand, paid him $100 and called it a day. But here I am. So,
how many years ago was that?
27.
Wow. And what was the first show? The Franklin show? Is that?
Yeah, it started out at the Johnson County Fairgrounds in Franklin.
Okay.
And we stayed there way longer than we should have, just out of I'm a creature of habit and I didn't want change. But the vendor list was bigger than the actual vendors we had on hand.
Yeah.
And
that was a pretty tight building.
Yeah, we could only get like 50 vendors in there.
Yeah.
And that was really using every square inch of everything in there.
Yeah.
But it got to points at times where we had to lock the doors because we was over capacity and couldn't let nobody else in. Well, that wasn't helping nobody.
Right.
So finally we made the decision that we were going to go to Hamilton County. Well, within a year and a half, we outgrew it by bringing in all the vendors that was on the waiting list and then adding new vendors to it. We were bulging at the seams there too. And they wasn't going to add on for another 5 years. Well, as I learned by moving and growing a little bit, the show didn't stay stale. It actually grew and got bigger. So I went and met with them at the Hendricks County, and they had 12,000 more square foot than we had in Hamilton County. And they were adding 25,000 square foot within 3 years. So that was a no-brainer. I mean, we signed right then for a 5-year deal, and we'll sign another 5-year deal tomorrow. I don't plan on ever going nowhere. They treat us like royalty.
Yeah, that's a great show. That's a great building. Me personally, I've worked that show from a vendor perspective. Getting in and out of there is super easy with all the access and everything. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
as an avid fisherman myself, really going out there and looking at really good tackle vendors. And man, you've got some just tremendous tackle vendors. I think guys like JVC Outfitters.
Yep. This year we added Land Big Fish.
There you go.
To the Hendricks County show. I mean, we got a catfish rod company comes all the way from Nebraska.
Wow.
To be at this show because he knows that we cater to fishermen. Mm-hmm. We don't allow anything else in. If you're not fishing, you can't get in. And it's not that I have anything against them companies. I don't, because I'm a small business owner myself. If I was going to let somebody outside the fishing industry set up, it would be me.
Right.
And my wife owns a small boutique business, and I absolutely do not let her set up. The only thing I allow her to do for us is make the shirts we give away. I cost her money. So she don't get a chance to come make any money. I just cost her money.
Yeah.
So, but she loves it too. She's been working the shows with me since day one. She knows the ins and outs and all the nuances just as well as I did.
I was going to say, if chances are, if you've ever been to one of your shows, she's probably taking your ticket up front, taking your money up front, or
yep.
You ask her where you need to go. I know
she does. I'm the one. She makes me look good. She does all the layout stuff. She organizes all the vendors and keeps them separated by what they make, so there's not 10 jig companies in a row for people to pick from. So she's really good about separating all that stuff out and making it an easy flowing show. And you've been, so it just flows. Traffic wise, crowd wise, it just flows. And there's no. She's really good at helping me lay it out. There's no bad areas in that whole show. If you got a booth, you're going to get seen. I mean, the traffic is directed where it's you got to see everybody to see the show. Yeah. And so I get all the glory, but she does most of the work.
Yeah. So how, with these shows, how long are you already thinking about getting vendors set up, layouts, things like that? Are you already thinking about that a year in advance, or is that?
Oh yeah. As soon as the show ends, we immediately we take like a week off to recoup because we got 3, so it's like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
When they're over, we take like a week off, and then we sit down and strategize. We take everybody's criticisms and ideas. And, we try never to repeat the things we got criticized for. And we try to implement new stuff every year or different ways to make the show better every year. And then we start immediately right then, working on different vendors to come or trying to get different seminar speakers. And I'm real big about keeping it local with our seminar people. I just feel a loyalty to my community, being I used to fish here. I know everybody here.
Yep.
And there's a lot of guys in Indiana and surrounding areas that are extremely good fishermen that I would take what they told me in a seminar over what Gerald Swindell told me.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on Swindell because we've had him to our shows.
Yeah.
But that's just the way I am. I mean, like you spoke for me last year at 2 of my shows. Yep. And I take a lot of pride in that. I would rather you guys get seen than somebody that don't need to be seen. Everybody knows who they are. And you're going to give them knowledge on the water they fish and the style they fish. If they're kayak fishing, you're going to help the kayak fisherman catch fish in the waters around here. He's never going to take his kayak and go to Texas or Florida. I mean, it's going to be very rare if he did.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys they're on limited budgets. They're going to fish close to home. And that's where guys like you make their life easier.
Yeah, so man, that was a lot of fun last year. And the Lawrenceburg show, that has to be about the coldest weekend I can remember in a long, long time. That was a bitter cold weekend, but man, it was great to see everybody come out.
Yeah.
You know,
we were worried as promoters when you see that kind of weather.
I bet.
Because the rent for that building alone is over $40,000. So we're 40 grand in the hole right out of the gate. And then when you see 25 degrees and 30-mile-an-hour wind, you're like, oh, this place is going to be a ghost town.
Yeah.
We didn't hit our target numbers, but we were definitely not disappointed.
Yeah.
We were not disappointed at all. With the weather conditions and everything, I think my wife said our final tally was 5,400 paid through the door. The last time we were there, we were averaging over 10,000 people. So it was kind of, we knew it was our first year back. So we tried to gauge something between, we'd have been happy. We were happy with what we got versus losing money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But we were, we were kind of gauging 6,000 to 8,000 for our first year back. So we were close, and given the weather conditions, man, we were happy. We were very, very happy.
Yeah, and to your point, the seminars, they were busy. I had one seminar that wasn't so busy, and then the others that I did over the weekend were busy. And it's great seeing the kayak community out there. It's great talking to folks. There's some people that, gosh, I hadn't seen in years from Cincinnati area that came over and enjoyed the show for a day. And I think the real key is the speakers that you have are relatable. They're relatable to everybody.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's like I said, I've brought big names in. We've had Bass University at some of our shows. You never recoup the money from them guys. You don't. The only thing it does for me is it lends me credibility in the industry. I can pick up a phone and call people in this industry, and they know who I am. And that opens a lot of doors that a lot of other people can't get open that are just as good at what they do as I am at this. They just never get the opportunity. And from a marketing standpoint, I knew it was in my best interest to have some of these guys at these shows as I built the shows. Because, again, it's credibility, nothing more.
Yep.
Our thing is when we pay seminar speakers, we're looking at a 30% return for us. If they can recoup 30% of what it cost us to have them there, that's a successful show for us. Because we use their name in making other calls at other places or talking to potential sponsors or stuff like that. It opens up those doors for you when you have them kind of guys there. As far as, everybody always like, bring this guy. I'm like, you realize some of them guys are $10,000 a day.
Yeah. Plus
expenses. So, unless they can guarantee me 3,000 extra people coming, I'm not paying them $10,000. I'm not. Yeah. That's why our shows are so affordable.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where, in seminars, and I sat in a few of the seminars last year at the Indy West show, and then also the down in Lawrenceburg. And what I really like about it is the seminar speakers were talking about vendors that were there too. So if you go from a seminar, you could actually go buy that tackle, and then you could go on the water the week after. Yeah. And put it to use.
We promote all of our vendors a lot. Any ads we take out through social media, anything. It always has our vendors listed in there. And anybody we can link up that has a link to something, because some of these guys they work out of the garage. They don't have a Facebook page. They don't have anything. They use these shows strictly to pay for their fishing for the year, so it doesn't dig into their regular household budget. So they don't have websites or anything like that. But any of them that do, we link them up. And we always tell them, if you see one of our ads run across social media, comment on there. You're going to be there. I said, because a lot of times Facebook won't let us actually use your company because they're getting robbed out of money.
Yep.
But if you comment on an ad we've already paid to run, they can't stop that. So, I sent an email to every vendor going, hey, we got social media ads running on Twitter. We got social media ads running on Facebook. Any place we can get them in, and I email every vendor and go, watch for them and let people know that you're going to be there. It's just another way that they get recognized by us. We take these shows personal, and we want to earn every single nickel they pay us to be there. And if I can't earn the money, then I feel like I failed, and I don't want no part of failure. It's just not a word that's in my vocabulary.
Yeah, that's for sure. And yeah, I mean, you have the most loyal vendors too. That's one thing I like also is when I go to one of your shows, I can always count on those specific guys always being there. And there may be a guy that takes a year off, but man, they're right back the next year. And it's great.
That Hendricks County show, when it ends on Sunday at 4:30, by Monday at 4:30, we're 95% sold out. I mean, it just goes that quick. Yeah. Nobody ever wants to leave. Lawrenceburg will get that way. I mean, this year alone, we doubled in size. Mm-hmm. So, because the big event space that you saw when you was there, if you go around that corner by that hallway, there's another event space nearly as big as that.
Oh, wow. And
we've already filled it up. I mean, the show is full this year, and it's double in size.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an incredible show.
Man, what's really unique about that show too, and something I like is there's a hotel right there. Like
you take the escalator upstairs and you're to your room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the greatest thing ever. Yep. And there's a restaurant in there, and if you're a Starbucks guy, there's a Starbucks inside there.
Yep.
If you're a gambling degenerate like myself, the casino's a 10-minute walk. So I get in a lot of trouble down there. My wife keeps me handcuffed most of the time.
Yeah, so, there's some great restaurants within walking distance, like right across the street too. There, it's a great
Stone Oven Pizza place. Oh man, that place rocks.
I know. I've been thinking about that all year.
We order from them all weekend, and then some of the vendors hang around on Saturday when it closes. A lot of guys are tired and they just go right to the room. But me and my wife will order, 10, 12 pizzas for all the vendors to eat. And, we make a huge financial impact on Lawrenceburg.
Absolutely.
We bring people there that didn't even know what Lawrenceburg was, let alone where it was. Most people, a lot of the vendors, when we first started down there 5 years ago, they're like, I don't know, it's a little small town. I said, man, it's a suburb of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I can throw a rock and hit the Cincinnati airport. I said, it's not a little small town. We're going to draw from there. We're going to draw from Lexington. We're going to draw from Dayton. We're going to draw from Indy, Louisville. I said, we're going to draw from everywhere because that's where we're marketing to. And we did. Our first year there, we had like 12,300 people through the door. That place was rocking from the time we opened till the time it closed. The second year, we got rocked with 10 inches of snow and a 3/8 inch of ice. It was level 5 travel advisory. They were giving people tickets for being out.
Yeah.
But we still had 4,700 people through the door with all that bad weather.
Yeah.
But my friend is the police chief there, so he made sure the city streets were cleaned from the event center all the way down to 50. He made sure you could see concrete.
Yeah.
So sometimes it does pay to know people.
Absolutely. It absolutely does. So what's the first show? Is the Lawrenceburg show the first one this year?
Lawrenceburg show is January 11th and 12th.
11th and 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the West Indy, Danville, is February 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
And then our new show in Corydon is February 15th and 16th. Corydon's one of the most historic cities in our state. I mean, at one time it was our state capital.
Yeah.
Fishing and hunting tradition down there is rich. And we're within a rock's throw of Louisville, Albany, Jeffersonville, Clarksville. You got Rocky Point, Evansville, Patoka. I mean, there was a lot to draw from. And they've been asking us to bring a show down there for 5 years. And in the past, I'd always turn them down. And it ain't because I didn't want to. It's because I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
And this year, my son-in-law kind of took over controls of our cabinet shop. So I have a little more free time to do some stuff that I normally never had free time to do. So we went ahead and decided to set up the Corydon show. And I'm not disappointed. It's not a huge building. We're never going to have more than 70 vendors in there, 75. Yeah. And they don't have any future plans for expansion. But the facility is beautiful. It's modern. It's new. It's right outside of their downtown. It's 10 minutes from the highway. There's every motel you can think of around there. So, and the fishing and hunting license that were sold in that area for the last 5 years running made it a no-brainer for us to set up a show there. That's the first thing we do when we're setting up a show somewhere. The very first thing we do is check with the DNR website and see how many fishing and hunting licenses were sold per zip code within 30 minutes of that facility. Now, kind of give you an idea of the kind of crowd you're drawing from.
Yep.
Because if you're not fishing or hunting, you're not coming to an outdoor show.
Right.
So if we go to an area that has 300,000 people, but they only sold 5,000 fishing and hunting licenses, we're not going to go.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter how big the city is or how big if there's nobody there to support the show and the vendors that come.
Yep.
You've kind of wasted your time. And that's just another one of the little nuances I learned. Because the first 10 years, I got my butt kicked routinely every year, but I learned something.
Yeah.
Every year. So now I'm more prepared when we do the shows. We already have everything laid out, 8 months before. We know who we're advertising with. We know who we're targeting. We have all that stuff laid out. Getting permits and clearances and variances and fire inspections. People don't ever think about.
Oh, yes.
They just show up and see a show. Absolutely. But there is so much other stuff behind the scenes that go on before the doors even open.
Yeah.
Insurance, or if you sell alcohol, you got to have the excise police there to do their inspections, the health department. It's a never-ending calamity of events that people all want to get their hands in on the money. And for us to keep the show so affordable, we do a lot of work to make sure it stays that way.
Yeah, and that is one of the affordability of your show is just it's unheard of in these times. One of the things I like too is you don't charge for parking.
That's part of the deal. And where we set up a show, if parking ain't free, we walk away, no matter how rich it is in the area for us to have a show there. And I don't mean rich by dollar amount. I mean rich by the number of people that could possibly come. If we can't get free parking, we don't go. I mean, it's just that simple. That's a deal killer because people can't pay $10 to park. And we approve all food prices. I mean, we don't let nobody gouge you for food either. We approve we want to see every menu and we approve the pricing. If not, we'll allow them to bring outside food in. But, if they meet our standards, then we'll protect their food sales. All food stops at the door. You can't bring nothing in from the outside. Yeah. And for so long, me and my wife paid for everything in the kitchen so the Baskin gals could raise money for all their kid programs. But they no longer do it now, so we had to actually outsource our food vendors. So this is going to be something new for us. So we'll see. And in Lawrenceburg, we don't get a choice. It's Hollywood Casino does all the food and alcohol sales. We're not allowed to bring anybody in we want.
Yeah, it's still not bad though. I mean, they have coffee in the morning. It's not bad price, like all the stuff. It's not bad.
We still looked at all their pricings because even though we can't get who we want, we can stop them from selling anything. That's part of our contract. They can't sell unless we approve. Yep. So we never let them gouge or rob. Yeah. Because if that was the case, we told them, then you can't sell nothing here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hold that little bit of power there over their food and alcohol sales. And I mean, come on, it's a fishing show. Everybody drinks beer and walks around with a hot dog. Yeah.
I mean, that's what Saturdays and winter are for right there.
Yeah. So, they kind of, we came to an agreement and this is, they showed us this is what they're going to charge. I'm like, that's livable. That's doable. Mm-hmm. I said, the public will tell you if you're too high.
Yep.
I said, I can tell you what they're going to pay. You can listen to me or not listen to me, but you're wall to find out that I was right. This is what they're going because I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been a vendor at shows and then I do shows and I know what I'm willing to pay for something for convenience, for it being there, me not having to leave to get it. I'll pay a little extra for convenience, but I'm not going to let you rob me. I'm not going to pull my billfold out and you pull a mask down over your face.
Yeah.
That's what some of them try,
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Some of the places, I'm very, very fortunate enough. I get to go to a lot of shows and there's some places where you're like, good grief. Like I just paid, $40-$50 for lunch and
Yeah.
didn't get much.
Yeah. You're still hungry.
Yeah.
You got $40 and you're still hungry.
Exactly.
But, in Lawrenceburg, that parking garage across the street's 3,500 spaces. It's covered. And that was part of the deal when we went there, because the mayor called us to come there. We had no intentions of ever going to Lawrenceburg ever. We were happy with just our one show, and life was good. And, I was happy watching it grow. But again, like I said, a friend of mine's the police chief there, and they got this beautiful $70 million event center downtown. They want, some kind of other show there besides B-list concerts and some other stuff. So I went and met with the mayor and them, and and the first year they helped subsidize us some to get started. They put up quite a bit of money, $15,000 to be exact. And but when I met with them, they didn't want to put up anything. They just wanted us to come and spend all of our money. And I told them, I said, everybody that walks through that casino door, you guys get $1. I said, that's $1. Every time somebody walks through there, it doesn't matter how much they lose or how much they win, you guys get $1. I said, you guys are creating ways to spend money. That's why there's a $70 million event center in a city of 5,000 people. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm not completely dumb. I catch on pretty quick. Yeah. So I said, so if you want us to be here, it's going to cost you $15,000 the first year. I said, after that, we'll absorb all the costs. You just got to help us get set up in a new city. And he looked around me and goes, that's a lot of money. I looked around and I said, you're full of crap. That ain't nothing. Not for what you guys take in. That ain't nothing. I said, so if you're willing to do that, we're willing to bring the show here. And the city stepped right up. And let me tell you what, man, since day one of meeting with all the city, county councilmen, the mayor and all them, they have been rock stars. And they did their best to keep us there when we left them a couple of years. But that was nothing to do with them. That was between us and the Hollywood casino. Yeah. All that stuff got worked out. They got new staff, and we gladly went back. As soon as they got the new staff in there, they immediately reached out to us. And I'm like, yeah, we're all in. So, we went back like last year, and this year we're already looking forward to again, but we're not 6 weeks.
That is crazy. Yeah, that parking garage is literally right across the road.
Oh yeah.
So you're outside maybe
10 seconds.
Yeah, maybe.
Walk right
you
across
right through the door and right in.
Yeah, it's right there. Just boom, boom.
Yep.
And we heard rumor. We don't know if it's true, but we heard. I've not asked the mayor or anybody else, but somebody said they was going to connect a walkway across from the parking garage to the event center.
That would make sense.
And have it covered for like winter.
Yep.
And that would be awesome if they could do that. Like I said, that's just rumor mill. And I've heard it from reliable sources, so I'll take it as it has some kind of legs to get started on.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens. So the Lawrenceburg show, how many vendors do you have for that show?
200.
Wow. And that's, when I think about that, because you have different booth sizes, so it's not like they're in 10 by 10s, and there's 200 of them. You've got some really, really big laid out ones. You have like Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton Bait and Tackle takes up 8 spaces.
Yeah.
But they have an array of everything.
They do.
It doesn't matter what you fish for. Hamilton Bait and Tackle has it there. Bluegill fishing, walleye, bass, carp, catfish. If you fish for anything, them guys have it.
They have some. Last year, they had some hard to find baits too. Some glide baits, some swim baits, things like that.
They have
really hard to get, and they had them at a really good price.
They have some incredible merchandise, and their prices their show prices. They're not just that's just not made up. Them dudes have show prices.
Yep.
That's they make you buy it. Yep. You're looking at it and you're going, I don't need that, but for that price, I'm gonna get it. And they've been good like that.
And I tell you, every time I walk by that damn booth, I had to buy something, because you walk by and you see a sticker and you're like, well, I have to get that at that price.
Yeah. They force you to buy it. They're forcing you to buy the stuff.
Yeah.
But I still fish, not as much as I used to, but I still fish. Yeah. So my shows are dangerous for me.
I bet.
Dangerous for me. I don't, and some of them guys have tried to give me stuff just because I'm the promoter. And I always refuse to take anything for free from them. I tell them, hey, look, I charge you to be here. Yeah. I'll pay you what you're charging everybody else for the stuff you're selling. I don't want a discount. I don't want anything. I want to be treated just like the guy that's behind me waiting in line to get something. That's how I want to be treated. So I said, because I'm not going to give you a break. The price is the price. Yeah. So I don't expect it in return. And them guys appreciate that. That I'm not one of them that you need to give me this, you need to give me that, and I'll pay for it like everybody else. One thing I can say about my vendors at all my shows, because we give stuff away every 30 minutes. We're giving a package or a sack of stuff away.
Yep.
And them guys are quick to donate. I mean, they'll throw a bunch of stuff up front for my wife and my daughter to go through and make all these prize packages. And we struggle to give it all away in a weekend. Yeah. I mean, they give us so much stuff. We struggle to give it away, even calling raffle tickets. And the tickets don't cost nothing. You get them at the door. They're free.
Yep.
Every 15 minutes, we still struggle to give everything away. And it's not junk either. We give away reels and rods and sacks of baits and tackle bags full of stuff. I mean, it's good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for sure. How much is it to get in the door of one of your shows, Ray?
Lawrenceburg is $8 for adults. Kids 12 and under are free.
Yep.
Hendricks County, the one west of Indy, that's $6, and kids 12 and under are free. And Corydon is $6, and kids 12 and under are free. We based our pricing off what it cost us to have the venue, insurance, advertising, all that. If we have to hit a certain number before we're profitable.
Yep.
But as long as my wife's not writing checks out of our personal account, it's a successful show.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, $8. I mean, that's just a deal, and that facility and the ease of use of everything. I mean, it's worth easily 3 times that. I mean, that's a great show at $8.
Yeah,
and you're going to spend time there. Like it's you're going to be there if you actually take the time to look around and browse, take advantage of the seminars, and just enjoy talking fishing. That's going to be a full day for $8. I mean,
and Lawrenceburg has hunting stuff as well. It's not just fishing. We have hunting vendors there. They're all high quality vendors. Our seminar speakers are all high quality seminar speakers that help you shoot more deer. I mean, it's just a great atmosphere. That show has a great atmosphere.
Yeah,
it has everything you want to see in one of these great big mega shows, but doesn't cost nearly as much, and you don't have to walk by 2 gutter guard companies and a satellite TV company to actually find a vendor. You go from fishing, hunting. I mean, it's just like that throughout the whole show. There's never any fluff and filler in there, period.
Yeah, and you have great vendors like, we'll talk about Hamilton, JBC, Schmackham. So you have all of those guys that have rods, reels, have all of those things. But what's really, really neat, too, is you'll have I'm a big balsa guy. Love balsa baits. It's just something I've always.
We got some of the best balsa bait makers in the country there at all of our shows.
And it's crazy. I mean,
it's the same 3 guys at all of our shows, and that's the only 3 we'll let in. We don't let anybody else in but them 3. Not that the other guys don't make good baits or they're not high quality. I know what I get with these guys. Their customer service is great. They treat people good. And they have a high quality product. Because I turn down vendors, even if I have space, I turn down vendors that have kind of a sketchy reputation. Yep. I won't let them in. Even if I had space, I just won't. Because our show's built on quality, fairness, and people taking pride in what they do. You get a guy in there that's just going to, he's sketchy, he's just taking your money, and it's just crazy how this industry works. You've been around long enough, It's a crazy, crazy industry. But if I get guys like that apply, it's always we're full. I don't care if I have 50 spaces, we're full.
Yep.
And I don't want them at my show. I don't want that reputation following me.
No. I mean, you have laser lures, like those guys show up, like and you get to talk to the guys about, hey, how do you finish this bait or
and they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, they'll tell you step by step how to make a bait.
Yep.
And they'll tell you where they get their products from and what they're paying for. I mean, they want to see you be successful, whether you're buying from them or you're making it on your own. They're craftsmen first. They're not salesmen first. They're craftsmen first.
Absolutely.
And when we pride ourselves on having a lot of the small mom and pop tackle makers and tackle shops, we don't let big companies in. We won't let Cabela's in. We won't let Bass Pro in. We don't let none of them guys in because our vendors can't compete with them for pricing. They can't. And it's not fair to them when they've been loyal to me since day one. You know, I've got vendors been with me all 27 years that I've been doing this. That'd be a slap in the face to them for me to bring in Cabela's and you know, set up at the show and they're selling baits for pennies on the dollar what these guys can make it and sell it for.
Yeah.
So it's nothing against them big companies. It's not. The world needs them. But our vendors is what makes this industry go around.
Yeah.
They're the backbone.
You've got you just have some class act folks there too. And you know, I've been on both sides. I've been there as a vendor helping out some guys. I've been there as a seminar speaker. I've been there as a consumer. And in my opinion, like the consumer side of it, there's just, I mean, your shows are unbeatable because you can build those relationships. And hell, there's guys that I see at your shows, only at your shows, and we catch up and I don't talk to them the rest of the year. But it's like, hey, let's go grab a beer after this, or hey, you want to go grab a pizza at lunch, or it's great.
They're awesome doing it. At the expo in Hendricks County, when you start down, I see people coming that have kids. When they first started coming to the shows, they were the kid that was in their stroller. Now they're pushing a stroller, and that makes me feel really good when I see that they've been that loyal for 27 years.
Yeah.
That, you know, they came with their dad or their grandpa or whoever, and now they're coming with their kid. And that's awesome. I mean, you know, you watch a kid grow up. You may only see him once a year, but I can almost tell you every person that comes to that door, hey, he's been coming here for 5 years. He's been coming here for 10 years. I mean, you just get used to seeing them people. And, you know, unlike other show promoters, we walk around the show and we talk to people. We ask them, you know, what do you think? What do you think we can do to improve it? What would make this a better show experience for you to come? You know, tell us this stuff, because we take it serious. It's not just some PR crap. We write it down. If we can make it happen, you see it the next year at that show. You see what people suggested. It's there. And it keeps the show fluid, and it keeps people wanting to come back. And when they know that you're truly listening to them, that you want to do what they want to see, it makes it easier to do the show. It really does.
Yeah. I see you and your family members walking around the show all the time. And, you know, if you ever need anything, I mean, simple and straight, like, where's the restroom? Like, if you grab one of you guys know exactly where to go, and it just points in the right direction. Or, hey, where's this vendor at? And you guys will pull out the sheet and you'll go, oh, they're right over there.
I went in the middle of the night before and got aquariums for vendors so they could, you know, display their product and show how it works, because they forgot to bring one. We had a vendor from St. Louis, Missouri a few years ago in Johnson County when we were still there. His truck broke down at the show. I took him to my shop and got him one of our trucks to drive home while his was getting fixed there. And, you know, it's just stuff like that. And we had another vendor that when they checked into the hotel, somebody broke in their car and stole their money bag and all that stuff. So me and my wife gave them the money to open their booths and stuff with the next morning, you know, and they just paid us at the end of the weekend after they made their money back. But that's the kind of relationship I have with my vendors, and I'm proud of that relationship. I mean, I would do anything for them, and they know that. And they don't take advantage of it either. It's not I'm going to get him for what I can get. We're two peas in the pod. What I would do for them, they would do for me.
Yep.
And that takes a lot of trust, and that trust takes time to build. So they know I'm going to go the extra 10 miles for them to make it a successful show. They know that when they come. So
absolutely.
Even if we have a down year, 1 year, big companies will bail on you. They'll go in a minute. That's why I don't let them guys in.
Yep.
One bad show and they're done. They're gone. They're on to the next thing. Well, these guys are loyal to me. They have a bad year and they're like, all right, we'll regroup and get them next year. Because the weather plays a part in everything we do this time of year at these shows.
Yeah.
I can't control the weather. I can only control what I do to get the people there. But other than that, the big companies, they don't care. They don't care if it was 10 foot of snow. Why wasn't there 100,000 people here?
Yeah. We talk about snow, but I tell you, I've worked at Indianapolis Boat Show. Oh gosh, going on 7, 8, maybe 9 years now. And I always look at the weather forecast, and if there's a Saturday that's going to be sunny and nice, it's always like, oh no, that's going to be the slowest day.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to get out.
For me, a perfect show weather is 45 and drizzle.
Yeah.
Or 25 and sunny with no ice anywhere.
Yep.
They're not ice fishing.
Yeah.
And the sun gets subliminally, it gets to them. I can't stay in the house. I got to go.
Yeah.
So that's our two favorite weather scenarios when those play out. We know we are going to have a great weekend and we're going to see a lot of people.
Absolutely.
If it's 60 degrees and sunny and there's no ice anywhere, it's going to be a ghost town.
Yeah.
It's going to be a ghost town.
Yeah.
So, we're always hoping we don't want bad weather, but we want kind of yucky weather.
Yeah. Kind of what I call duck hunting weather. A little bit drizzly out, a little bit overcast out, but not too warm and not too cold.
Yep, that's it. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I love it. When I see that forecast, I'm like, oh yeah, we're good.
So, Ray, where can people find up-to-date information on all these? I guess we should go back and we should say that the Lawrenceburg show is called the Tri-State Fishing Show. The one out west is the Indiana Fishing Expo, and the Cordon show.
Indiana Fishing Expo / Cordon.
Okay.
We got a marketing company in the next year or two because we got one more show we want to add to our calendar.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be Northern Indiana.
Okay.
And everything, the marketing people say we should bring everything under one brand. So eventually everything's going to be Indiana Fishing Expo, except it'll be Indiana Fishing Expo Lawrenceburg, Indiana Fishing Expo Cordon, and Danville, and north will be LaPorte. You didn't hear me say that. But we hadn't told anybody yet, but that's where we're negotiating at is in LaPorte.
Okay.
And we're hoping we're up and going in 26. That's our ultimate goal. I mean, we've been at it with them for about 6 months now.
Okay.
So, but up there against the parking, you're at the mercy of all them unions and stuff up around Chicago.
Yep.
Not that I have anything against the union because I was in the union half my life, but it's they have a stronghold in that area up there, and all the parking stuff is kind of intertwined with some of that stuff. But we've about got them to play ball with us, so they offered us a flat deal cost wise for free parking for the whole weekend, and it's an extremely reasonable price that we think is worth paying. So if we can get everything finalized, LaPorte, Indiana will be our next, our last show that we add to our schedule.
And that area needs a good fishing show. I had it for years, and then I don't know what happened. Like there's Tinley Park. Yeah.
Greed happens. That's how I ended up doing this because I saw what Greed was doing to the best show in the country.
Yeah.
Because the Indy Boat Sport and Travel Show was absolutely, without doubt, the crown jewel of outdoor shows in this country. And I used to be on Grant Rod's pro staff, Bandit, P-Line. So I've been all around the country working these shows.
Yep.
With my sponsors way, way, way back in the day. And there was nothing like the Indy show. There was nothing like it. They can say what they want about Harrisburg or the one they used to have in Buffalo, or none of them compared to the quality of vendors and the size of the Indy show. But Greed had killed it. It's killing it. Though anybody has a check can get in there. Doesn't matter what you sell. If you can write them a check, you can get in. Mm-hmm. You walk into Tackle Town, you see sunglasses, taffy, cookies, satellite TV, cell phones, rubber dog turds, Billy Bob teeth, Ginsu nut. I mean, you see everything but what you're there to see. And that's disheartening. It really is. When you walk into that show, you're thinking, man, I remember what it used to be. And this is what it is now. I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah, I've been going to that show for basically my whole life. I grew up near Kokomo. So, I mean, it was a big event for us to come down every year to the Indianapolis Boat Show. And I remember Lunker City had that big trailer, and they would pull that thing in there.
Oh, yeah.
It would just be full of tackle. And
Lunkers was awesome. Lunkers, galleons.
Yeah.
They used to anchor them, show them. And I mean, it was phenomenal when you walked in.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was about 9 years old, 10 years old with my grandfather when he took me out there, because that was my hunting and fishing buddy.
Yeah.
So we go out there, I walk in, I'm wide-eyed like I've seen every movie star in the world. And it's just all this stuff.
Yeah. And
it was great. And then over time, it just, like I said, it just deteriorated to where it's just a shell of its former self. They still get a lot of people, but they don't get a lot of us.
Yeah, I will say that some of the kayak stuff is definitely growing there, but yeah, I'm not sure why, but man, it seems like Indiana specifically is still kind of a hotbed for these type of shows. Like I go other places for shows, and it's not the same as what it is here in Indiana.
We went to Orlando and talked to the deputy mayor down there because they called us about bringing a show like that to Orlando, and we went down and we talked to him. But it's not. I mean, it's just never going to happen.
Yeah,
we did a month's worth of pre-marketing, and it was just like, this is set up for failure. Is what this is set up for. I know why you don't see the big shows there, or the ones that come don't last very long. It's just not a good area. Plenty of fishing and hunting license, so that part's covered. But I mean, it never gets cold there. It's outdoor paradise. There's no cabin fever.
Yeah.
You don't get cabin fever. If it's January outside, it's not 10 degrees. It's more like 70, 75, and you're going to go fishing or you're going to do what you want. You're not.
Oh, they might even be spawning that time of year.
Yeah. So, great idea. Beautiful location where they took us to and talked to us. It was absolutely gorgeous. And they put an offer on the table that was any other city. I would have signed it right then. I wouldn't even have thought about it. We'd have just signed it and been done and took our chances. But it just never, it just wasn't going to work. And it's sad. It's really sad because they want one there and they're willing to, put in the effort themselves. They're not just, hey, this is a spot. The city's willing to subsidize some stuff. The city's willing to work with advertising. I mean, they're willing to do a lot of stuff to get a first-rate show there, but it's just going to be throwing good money after bad. It's just not going to work there. Yeah. So we know the first part of March in LaPorte, we're going to be okay because it's still a little chilly up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good time frame for us up there.
Yeah, and those folks up there are, I mean, just as passionate. It's interesting thinking about and talking through why you choose places you do and things like that, because you are in some hotbeds, down there in Lawrenceburg. That Cincinnati fishing scene is.
Oh, yeah.
You go up north to Chicago, you have some diehard guys up there.
And there's all kinds of different fishing techniques up there, too. You got the guys that fish the big water all the time. Yep. You got salmon fishermen and muskie fishermen and dedicated walleye fishermen. The bass guys. I mean, you adding to your show by going up there. You're adding. So you're not just counting on the panfish guys and the bass guys like we do. Where we're at. You go up there and that opens up a whole new arena of different species of fishing. So it was a no-brainer for us, and the facility is gorgeous. It's about twice the size as Hendricks County.
Okay.
So it's pretty good size. Plenty of room to grow into. Plenty of parking. They got like 6,000 parking spots. So, we got plenty of parking. easy access and unloading. I mean, it's just all right there. So it's a great facility, and we'll be extremely happy when everything's finalized and we can actually make it public that we added our fourth and last show. That's more than we can handle.
That's it. Huh?
Yeah, because it's all a family thing for us. We don't have no outsiders.
Right.
Brian Calvert's about the only outsider we have as part of our show, and Brian's more like family than an outsider.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not sure he doesn't have a key to all of our houses. That's how close he is to us.
Yeah,
that's how much we trust him.
Yeah.
So having Brian on your side is a big bonus. So he's the only non-family member that works with us on our shows.
No, it's great. You have really, really great shows, Ray. As a consumer, as a vendor, as all of those things, I really appreciate you putting these shows on and having things for Indiana outdoorsmen that we can actually afford to go out to, when we can talk to each other, we can talk to bait manufacturers, we can talk to different vendors. So thank you for having those.
Absolutely. Like I said, if anybody's there at one of our shows and they see one of our staff walking around, you got an idea, you let them know, because it'll get written down. And if it's doable, it gets done. We put on a show for the whole family. You want something for kids? Let us know. If it's doable, it'll be there.
Yep.
And it's just how we do things.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, that's great. That's great. Something you're doing a little bit different this year is you're actually offering some pre-sales on your tickets to all of the events.
Yeah, I've been slow to get to the modern technology. I've always been, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of guy.
Absolutely.
But we've been pressured for the last couple of years for online ticket sales. We tried it last year towards the end, so we wasn't locked in anything for a long period of time. And it worked out pretty good. It worked out better than I anticipated. So this year we're offering online ticket sales again, and we'll have links on both of our websites. And this year, for something different, anybody that buys an online ticket at the Tri-State show, they'll have their own separate entrance to come in, get scanned, and walk right in. And they can get in 30 minutes early.
Okay.
Danville, we don't have enough entrances and exits to set up their own, but they can get in 30 minutes before anybody else.
Okay.
So if they have an online tickets, they can get there at 8:30. They can get in the door and get in and see some of the stuff before. I mean, you've been there at 9 o'clock. The line to get in will be 300-400 deep, wrapped out around the building into the parking lot.
Yep.
So, getting the jump on some of them guys, because I've seen some of them guys leave with tubs. Yep. They buy tubs of stuff.
Yep.
So, and if they're buying a tub of something you wanted, you're just, you're at the well.
Yep.
So this is the way it works. But yeah, we are doing online ticket sales this year and it's probably something that'll be a staple here going forward. We don't have online sales for Corridon.
Okay.
We just don't feel like it's worth the cost to add them down there. Because like I said, the show's never going to get any bigger than it is. They have no plans of ever adding on to that venue. But we think it'll be the perfect size for that area. 75, 80 vendors max. Plenty of free parking. But, they can just buy their ticket at the door and come on in.
Perfect. So if anybody has any questions or wants to see a vendor list, where do they need to go, Ray?
You can go to tristateoutdoorshow.com.
Okay.
IndianaFishingExpo.com.
Perfect.
And the Indiana Fishing Expo will have Corridon and Danville on there. Actually, I'm uploading the new vendor list tonight on both of them.
Okay.
So it'll be completely updated by night because both them shows are sold out.
Okay.
There's still like 6 booths left in Corridon, and that's only because I haven't returned any emails for the last week or so. I'm sure they'll be gone too. But that's the only show we don't have online ticket sales for, but the vendor list will be on there tonight. Okay. And the vendor list will be on for Danville, and the vendor list will be on for Tri-State. Because those two are completely sold out. There's no space left there.
I would also recommend people going to the Facebook page. You guys do a great job of updating that with times of things and all of that stuff.
We try real hard to make sure the speaker seminars
Yep.
and all that stuff are on there, the hours, the vendors that's there. Every time a new vendor's added, it gets added to the Facebook page faster than the website. Because I'm a cabinet guy, so I'm a computer hack. When I get in there, I'm more likely to mess stuff up than add stuff.
I hear you.
So it may take me a few days to get stuff added to the website, where the Facebook page is just a couple clicks and done. But I eventually do get the websites updated. It just takes me a little while because that stuff's all French to me when I get in there. I'm like scratching my head trying to remember what I did last year.
No, you guys do a great job keeping the vendor list up, and I would encourage anybody in the area. It is definitely worth a drive over on a Saturday or a Sunday to come and check out any of Ray's. Any of his fishing shows. Man, that Tri-State show, I'm really, really excited for that one. And of course, the Fishing Expo show out west of Indianapolis, and then the Corydon show as well. I'm definitely going to make it to two of those shows. That third one, we'll see how it goes. But man, that Lawrenceburg show, I'm really, really excited for, Ray. That's
Lawrenceburg this year. We have 2 separate kayak dealers, and then we have a guy that's come from Iowa that has like a hybrid kayak.
Okay.
You might saw it in Danville last year.
Yep.
He'll be there. So we're working on getting the kayak part of our show intact.
Yep.
I mean, it's a growing trend. It's not going anywhere.
No.
Guys can buy a really nice kayak way cheaper than they can buy a brand new bass boat.
That is for sure.
And you guys got so many circuits going now for the competitiveness.
Yep.
It's just a stage of the industry. It's just going to continue to go up and up and up and up.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that we have the kayak industry represented at every show.
No, we truly appreciate that. That's something that for a number of years, and I'm not talking about yourself at all. I'm talking about others have kind of stuck their nose up at the kayak community at times. But it's great to see us getting a little bit of recognition and you making room for us in shows. It's awesome.
That's the future, man. Kayak fishing is the future. You can fish a whole year for what it takes to fish out of a bass boat for 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you can legitimately fish the whole year. That's food, drinks, gas in your car, tournament entry fees, everything. It's just ridiculous what it costs these days.
It is. It's crazy.
And it's so affordable. And then you're starting to see some of the pros getting some of these kayak tournament trails. That kind of tells you there that, you need to be in on the ground floor of this as it shoots up, because it's going to go nowhere but up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're wrapping up here, Ray. Do you have anything, any last words, anything you want to direct folks towards to take a look at?
Man, if you want to come see a true outdoor show, come to any 3 of ours. And you're going to get exactly what you paid for. It's strictly outdoors. If you're into just fishing, the show in Danville is the only show you'll ever need to go to. I mean, there's 140 vendors of nothing but fishing. Lawrenceburg is 90% fishing and about 10% hunting. But the hunting that's there, there's some extremely high quality stuff.
Yes.
So, either way, you're going to get anything you've ever looked for or even thought about. If you had something in your dream, I guarantee you some of these guys got it there.
Yeah.
Somebody has it. And Corydon is 90% fishing. We do have a few hunting vendors in there, but they're very select, very few. And the only reason we don't allow hunting in Danville, because I hunt. I love to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But it started out as just a pure fishing show, and we've just kind of left it that way. I don't want to break the tradition that we started with it by adding some stuff in that. I did a poll once on our Facebook page about adding some hunting stuff, and it got shot down pretty quickly. and I listened, and then people are the ones that come to my show, so I listen to what they tell me. Yeah. They tell me no hunting. You know what? There's no hunting. I mean, it was that simple. It was an easy decision. Didn't matter what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what I want. They're the ones that come. They pay their hard-earned $6.
Yep.
to get in and see what we got. And if I bring in a bunch of stuff that they said I don't want to see, that just hurts me.
Yep.
So we get the pulse from them guys for anything we do. Anything we add or new or whatever, you've been to our Facebook page, we'll run a poll. Tell us what you think of this. And if it's 75% good, you'll see it. If it's 75% bad, you'll never see it. Because what I think is good, you guys may not.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what I think. I'm just a guy putting on the show. I'm not paying to get in.
Yep.
So anything you want to see there is there.
Yep. That's a great show to target. Ray, thank you for your time today. Thank you for putting these shows on. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to the shows. Hope you guys have a great holiday down there. And
you do the same, Matt.
All right, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Well, with that is another episode of Fishing for Noobs. Make sure you get out, go see Ray at his shows. Tell him hi, tell him you saw him on the podcast. And with that, we will close today's show. Get out there, go fishing, get in the outdoors, take somebody with you. If there's been nobody out there, or if you have a neighbor that hasn't been able to enjoy the outdoors or doesn't understand the outdoors, get them out there and enjoy the outdoors. We'll see you guys later.